Today I'm going to be looking at a comparison of the FTMO trading challenge with the 5%ers high stakes challenge, which is the most comparable trading program that the fivers offer. So I'll move to the computer and I'll walk through that comparison. FTMO and fivers are two of the most reputable prop firms out there. So the FTMO has basically this set challenge as one challenge option. So you choose your amount. So in this case, I've selected 100,000. I always go for a swing personally, just because it allows me to not be concerned that I may accidentally trade and violate some news rules. It has a slightly lower leverage, or well, it's 1 to 100 for this account and 1 to 30 for the swing, but that doesn't affect me. And so the first thing I just want to look at is the cost of the challenge. So this one is 100,000 challenge. So you're doing the challenge for a $100,000 account and it's just over $600 US. The fivers offer several different programs, but the one that is most comparable with the FTMO is the high stakes. So I've chosen the high stakes 100K challenge to compare, and we can see that the cost of this one is $495 US. And for the FTMO, it's a two-step challenge, right? It's exact same as for the fivers challenge. It's a two-step challenge. And so in the challenge phase, you are looking to get, they've stated in the dollar amount, but 10% profit target, and you've got an ultimate maximum loss of 10%, and you can have a maximum daily loss of 5%. High stakes, slightly more beneficial. It's you only need to get 8% profit target, so there's 2% less to get, but you've still got the same maximum loss and maximum daily loss. So this is slightly easier challenge to pass. Both are unlimited time, and this minimum profitable days 3 and minimum profitable days 4, but those aren't really important as far as I'm concerned. And so in the second stage of each of them, the verification stage, you've got the same maximum loss and maximum daily loss, profit target of 5% for the fivers and 5% here. So they're very, very similar. The fivers one is certainly just a little bit easier to pass with a lower profit target there. But again, they're very, very similar. It's kind of important to just make sure we're clear what the maximum loss means, because sometimes it's a trailing loss, sometimes it's from the equity, sometimes it's from the balance. The maximum loss is the equity of the trading account must not at any moment decline below of the initial account balance. So it's basically saying it's fixed. You start with 100,000, and if your balance at any point in time drops to 90,000, then that's a fail. It's the same for the fivers. So the max loss for the account is 10% from your initial balance. So that just remains fixed the entire challenge. So that's good. And both are the same for the daily drawdown is taken from your closing equity or balance. And again, both are the same for that. And so again, the rules are pretty much the same challenge. There's nothing important there that makes one too different to the other. So that's good. Following on from this, I would just have a look at the dashboards. So just to share, I've got a challenge open with each of these at the moment. So I've got a 200,000 challenge open with FTMO, and this is the dashboard at the moment. It's not been going long. It's only made like 12 trades, and I like the FTMO graph. You've got a very clear target there and the loss there and how you're traveling against that. Provides a consistency score on 12 trades. There's not really much to be gained there, so it's pretty much in the middle, I guess. And it shows how you're traveling against the objectives. So minimum trading days, well, that's passed because it's at 9. It's showing how I'm going against the maximum daily loss and maximum loss. They're very comfortable. I'm at 1.42 and 1.25, so well within those thresholds. And how I'm going, this is the equity value, and so my current equity is at 4,000, which is just over 2% of the target. So I'm not passing that yet, but it shows how you're traveling against that too, and gives a breakdown of statistics. So we can see the profit factor is 1.98, 58%, and a list of trades. Never really look at these too much personally, but you've got a few extra bits of information there. For the fivers, so the fivers again, it's a nice graph. It gives you a nice graph of the trade, so you can see how your balance curve is going. It's clear here on the profit target. This is actually a hyper growth account, but the dashboard is the same for whatever program you use. So again, it's giving you the profit target, so it's basically showing where I am against that. I've got to get to 11,000, and there's my stop out. So I'm here, and I'm 415 out of 1,000 towards the profit target. Gives again a good breakdown of stats, so you can see my profit profit factor 4.0 and win rate 60%, made 15 trades, and there's some other statistics there, and then a list of trades. So again, you can see through the list of trades. So both dashboards are nice dashboards. I think they're, in my opinion, the two best in the industry from the prop firms. And so again, that's very comparable too. And so the last thing I want to know when I'm choosing a challenge is the scaling program. Just another key piece of information for anyone, if it applies, is Fiverr's only offer MetaTrader 5, and they only ever will offer MetaTrader 5. I've questioned them on this. FTMO offer MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5. So if that's important to you, to be aware of that. The profit share is important too. So we're looking at the scaling and the profit share. So you're going to start by getting an 80% of the profits. It says it very clearly here. Every time you hit 10% for scaling, your account will go through the scaling program. So it looks like you get 25,000, then another 25,000, then again and again. So you got 5 payments of 25,000. Then it goes up in increments of 50,000 all the way up to $500,000. And also the profit share increases as we go. So it goes from 80% up to 85, up to 90, and then up to 100%. And at this point here, it's quite an exciting point because you actually receive a contract. And if you just keep trading that account, you're able to receive a fixed $4,000 monthly salary. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scalings, and you actually achieve a fixed salary along with your profit scale. At this stage, traders will get a personalized contract. So that's a big boost with the Fivers. The scaling program for FTMO was not quite as clear. Again, it's very comparable. So you do start with an 80% profit and you do scale up towards 90% of your profit share, and you can scale up to 2 million. And so it's basically saying here that FTMO traders who meet our scaling plan requirements are rewarded with a 25% increase in their account balance and a bigger reward. So it seems like maybe from the very first scaling, you move up from 80% to 90%, which is good. And the requirements are, it can only happen every 4 months for 10%. 10% every 4 months is a pretty tall order, really. So that's not a big deal. So you need to hit the 10%. So I guess it checks every 4 months, are you over 10%? So it doesn't go hit the 10% and go, that's what it seems to be to me. And it goes every 4 months, where are you? Are you 10% over what you were? Okay, we'll scale up your account. Also, you've got to withdraw twice, it seems, at the point of scale up. That seems a bit arbitrary. And so yeah, it's pretty similar. Hit 10% in a reasonable time and you're going to scale up. It seems it gives a bit of an odd breakdown for what it would be if you had 400,000. So it says if you got 400,000, then you're going to go up 25% to 500. But this is a confusing table to me. But it seems pretty clear that there is a scaling program that continues onwards up to 2 million, which is the most important takeaway from this. I'll do a future video on this path. This is not what I'm going to cover here, but yeah, there's a pretty similar path in that you can trade your way up to a contract with a fixed salary. So there is this progression path where you kind of pass the challenge, you pass the verification, that you then become a trader. And once you've been doing that for a while and meeting objectives, which as I said, I'll cover in another video, you then can achieve the same thing where you can actually get a contract with a fixed salary as well as your performance review and other small benefits here. So I hope that comparison was insightful and helpful and helps you choose between those two, both industry leading prop programs. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you want to keep an eye out for future content, please hit subscribe and the notification bell to make sure you see when the next video is up. Okay, happy trading, and I'll see you next time.